Hello grade 5, I am Sir Collin Sales, your math teacher. Whether you like it or not, tiisin ang mukhang ito para sa iyong future. For our first session, which will cover the first week of the first quarter in Mathematics 5, we will be discussing two modules, Module 1 and Module 2. Module 1 is about divisibility rules for 2, 5, and 10. While Module 2 is about divisibility rules for 3, 6, and 9. Are you now ready? So, kung complete na ang imong nga mga kinahanglanon, all you have to do is listen and let's start the ball rolling. To start, I want to know if do you still remember on how to divide numbers? Nadumduman mo pa bala kung paano mag-divide sa numbers? Ang steps nga ginaubra naton sa pag-divide sa number. This is the skill that we need to remember in answering our first activity, which is reflected in what's in page 2 of your module. You are asked there to identify if a number is divisible by 2, 5, or 10. And to tell whether a number is divisible by 2, by 5, or by 10, we need to know first what do you mean by the word divisible. A number is divisible by another number if it gives you a remainder of 0 when they are divided. So, for example, in our item number 1, in your module which is 18, and nabutang dira nga divisible sa by 2, all we have to do is divide 18 by 2. Kung ang remainder sang sining 18 kung i-divide sa 2 is 0, then we could simply tell that a number is divisible by 2. So, 18 divided by 2 is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. That's 9. So, 18 divided by 2, the answer is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Then, if you will subtract them, the answer is 0. So, the remainder is 0. Because the remainder is 0, then we could simply tell that 18 is divisible by 2. Now, let's try to check if 18 is divisible by 5. All we have to do is divide 18 by 5. Skip count by 5, 5, 10, 15. So the answer is 3. 3 times 5, 15. Subtract, that's 3. There is a remainder of 3. So we could say that 18 is not divisible by 5. Let's try to divide 18 by 10 for us to know if 18 is divisible by 10. 18 divided by 10, the answer is 1. And 1 times 10, the answer is 10. If you will subtract it, it leaves a remainder of 8. Therefore, we could simply say that 18 is not divisible by 10. That's why the answer for item number 1 is only 2. Because 18 is only divisible by 2. Not by 5, not by 10. The rest of the items 2, 3, 4, and 5, you will do it by yourself. Then after this, I will reveal the answers in a little while. For now, I want you to pause the video and do the activity in what's it number, or what's in, numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck. I'll be back later. Are you done with your activity? So if you're done with your activity, let's now reveal the answers. So, I would like to recap that the answer for number 1 is 2 because 18 is only divisible by 2. Let's try to answer number 2, 3, 4, and 5. For item number 2, that's 125. Is 125 divisible by 2? The correct answer is no, it's not divisible by 2. How about by 5? Yes, this one is divisible by 5. How about by 10? That's not divisible by 10. So the answer for number 2 is 5. Did you get it correctly? Now let's try number 3. Actually, the answer for number 3 are 2, 5, and 10. So number 3 or 30 is divisible by 2, divisible also by 5, and also divisible by 10. How about item number 4? Item number 4, the correct answer is only 2. That's correct. So the correct answer for item number 4 is 2. That's only divisible by 2. How about item number 5? Exactly. The correct answer for item number 5 is 2, 5, and 10. So it simply means that this number is divisible by 2, also by 5, and also by 10. So after the short activity, how will we then be able to tell if a number is divisible by 2, by 5, or by 10? Paano natin mahambal nga ang number is divisible by 2, by 5, or by 10 nga wala kita nagaubra sang actual solving? So I want you to listen very carefully because this is the thing that you need to know in order for you to determine automatically if a number is divisible by 2. We have here the multiples of 2. Now, notice the multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. All these numbers, class, they all ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Then it continues 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Same to this, the rest of the multiples of 2, it ends with 2, either 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. So we could simply say that a number is divisible by 2 if the last digit or the ones digit ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Now, let me give you one example. If I have 54,978, is that number divisible by 2 without anymore dividing this number by 2? Could you easily tell that a number is divisible by 2? The correct answer for this is yes. This one is divisible by 2 because it ends with 8. Remember the pattern that a number is divisible by 2 if it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Now, let me give you another example. How about if I have 1,763? Is that divisible by 2? The correct answer is no. Why? Because the last digit or the ones place is 3 and it's not an even number, or it does not end with 0, with 2, with 4, with 6, or with 8. Therefore, the whole number 1,763 is not divisible by 2. Get it? Let's continue. As we continue, how will we able to tell this time that a number is divisible by 5? Now, I want you to notice the multiples of 5 here. Okay, the multiples of 5 are the following: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and so on. But if we will just only to get the first 10 multiples of 5, the last digit or the ones place of all the multiples of 5 are 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0. The pattern continues that it ends always with 5 or 0. Therefore, we could simply tell that a number is divisible by 5 if it ends with 5 or 0. Let me give you two examples. I have here 7,962. Is that divisible by 5? Try to look at the last digit or the ones place. The digit in the ones place is 2. It's not 5 or 0. Therefore, we could simply say that 7,962 is not divisible by 5. Now, how about if I have 6,235? Is that divisible by 5? The correct answer is yes, because it ends with 5 or the last digit is 5. So, with that, we could conclude that a number is divisible by 5 if it ends with 0 or 5. As we continue, this time let us try to see or to check if how will we able to know that a number is divisible by 10. Now let's try to look at the multiples of 10. These are the numbers or the multiples of 10. And this set of numbers, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, obviously, they all ends with 0. So, we could tell that a number is divisible by 10 if the last digit is 0. For example, if we have 62,574, even how big is the number, biskan ano kadako ang number, you just try to look at the last digit. The last digit of this number is 4. It's not 0. Therefore, we could say, or our answer is, no, that is not divisible by 10. How about this one? 7,920. Is that divisible by 10? Obviously it is, because the last digit is 0. So, that's divisible by 10. To recap, so when will we know that a number is divisible by 2, by 5, or by 10? So, all we have to do is try to look at the last digit or the ones place of the number, and it will tell you that the number is divisible by either 2, 5, or 10. So, if the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, then that is divisible by 2. If a number ends with 5, or 0, or 5, then that number is divisible by 5. However, if a number ends with 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Therefore, we could conclude that if a number ends with 0, then that number is divisible by either 2, 5, or 10. Any question? If there's none, let us continue to our next lesson. This time, let us continue our lesson. But this time, we will have to get the factors of 20 and the factors of 40. So, how will we able to get the factors of 20 and 40? Before that, what do we mean by the word factors? Factors are the numbers being multiplied. For example, ano bala ang mga factors ng 20? So, ano nga mga numero ang kinahanglan nimo nga i-multiply or iparis-parison para magahatag siya sang product or answer nga 20? So, in order for us to get the factors of 20, let us start with 1. 1 times 20. Why 1? 1 is always a factor of any number. So, therefore, you start with 1. So, 1 times 20, the answer is 20. Therefore, 1 and 20 are factors of 20. Do we have another factors or another pair of factors for 20? That's right. That's 2 times 10. 2 times 10 is also equal to 20. Therefore, both 2 and 10 are factors of 20. Do we have another pair of factors for 20? Exactly. That's 4 and 5. So 4 times 5 is also equal to 20, so they are also factors of 20. Let's try to get the factors of 40. What are the factors of 40? Ano nga mga numero nga kinahanglan natin i-multiply para magsabat o maghahatag sa sabat nga 40? So, always remember to start with 1 because 1 is a factor of any number. So, let us have 1 times 40. Next one is 2 times 20. And finally, or we still have more, I think. That's 4 times 10. Another one is 5 times 8. Do we have more? These are all the factors of 40. And these are all the factors of 20. The next thing that we have to do is to list down in increasing order their factors. So we could simply say that the factors of 20 are the following. So that is 1, next is 2, next is 4, next is 5, next is 10, next is 20. These are the factors of 20. Now let's get the factors of 40. The factors of 40 are the following. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20, and 40. These are also the factors of 40. So we already have here the factors of 20 and the factors of 40. Okay, so we already have here the factors of 20 and the factors of 40. The next step that we have to do is to get their common factors. When we say common factors, these are the factors nga makita nimo sa may 20 at the same time factor man sa 40. That's why it is called as common, is because it could be seen both to the factors or list of factors of 20 and list of factors of 40. So what are the factors that are common to both 20 and 40? Exactly. The first one is, of course, 1. Another one is 2. We also have 2 here. The next one is 4. We also have 4 here. The next one is, I think it's 5. We also have 5 here. The next one is, we have here 10, and there's 10 here. Then, 20, we also have 20 here. So, we already completed the common factors of 20 and 40. The common factors of 20 and 40 are the following. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. That's what we call common factors. To recap, of course, to get the common factors, we need to know first the factors of 20, next the factors of 40, then after that one, check if which among the factors are common to both numbers. And that's what we call common factors. Therefore, the common factors of 20 and 40 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Get it? Continuing on, I believe you can now answer with ease activity 1.1 of What's More, page number 5 of your module. In this activity, you are only asked to identify whether a number is divisible by 2, 5, or 10. You will just only write yes if it is divisible by the number 2, 5, or 10, and no if it's not. Example, number 1. Is 30 divisible by 2? If you think that 30 is divisible by 2, then you will write in number 1 yes, and if you think it's not divisible by 2, then you will write in number 1 no. So your answer is only yes or no. So you have 10 items here. All you have to do is to get your math notebook and answer it there for your activity. Answer in your math notebook. Just write yes or no only. So all you have to do is pause this video, read your module, and answer activity 1.1. In a while, I will give you the answers for this activity. Are you done with your activity? So this time, let us now reveal what are the answers for this activity. Let me discuss with you the answers. Number 1 is 30 divisible by 2. Because the last digit of 130 is 0, or in the ones place is 0, then that is divisible by 2. So the correct answer for number 1 is yes. How about number 2? Number 2 is 326 divisible by 5. We could only tell that a number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5, but in 326 the last digit is 6. Therefore, it's not divisible by 5. So the answer for number 2 is no. How about for number 3? 124 divisible by 2. Is that divisible by 2? The correct answer is yes, because the last digit is 4. Is 405 divisible by 5? Absolutely yes, because the last digit is 5. So number 4, the correct answer is yes. Let's try number 5. Is 567 divisible by 2? No, because the last digit is 7. So let's continue to number 6. Is 405 divisible by 10? The last digit of 405 is 5. We could only tell that a number is divisible by 10 if the last digit is 0. So the correct answer for number 6 is no. For number 7, is 415 divisible by 5? Yes is the correct answer. For number 8, is 660 divisible by 10? The correct answer is yes. For number 9, is 212 divisible by 5? The answer is no. And finally, is 470 divisible by 10? The correct answer is yes. So this time, I want you to record your score out of 10. How many points did you get correctly? We are already done with activity 1.1 of What's More. This time, let's proceed to activity 1.2 of What's More. 1.2 of What's More is in page 5 of your module, and it says here that use the divisibility rules for 2, 5, and 10 to list down all the factors of each pair of numbers. Then, encircle the common factors. Use a separate sheet to do this. So it simply means that you have to write your answer on your pad paper or in your notebook. So let me answer number 1 or item number 1, which is 15 and 45. The first thing that you have to do is to look for the factors of 15, look for the factors of 45. Then after that one, you have to encircle their common factors and list down their common factors. So let's start with 15. What are the factors of 15? 15 actually is equal to 1 times 15. That's already given that any number has a factor of 1. So you start always with 1 times 15. The next thing that you have to do is use your skills in divisibility rules of 2, 5, and 10 in order for you to easily know or determine what are the other factors of 15. 15 ends with 5. Therefore, that is divisible by 5. So, we could say that 15 is also equal to 3 times 5. So, 3 times 5 is 15. So, 3 and 5 are factors of 15. Do we still have more pair of factors for 15? That's all. So, let's continue with factors of 45. What are the factors of 45? So the factors of 45, always remember to start with 1. So 1 times 45. The next thing that you have to do is use the divisibility rules for 2, 5, and 10 in order for you to determine what are the other pair of factors of 45. So we could also have, because 45 ends with 5, so we could also tell that or say that the number is also divisible by 5. So we could have a pair of 5 times 9. That's also 45. Do we have more? Exactly. We could also have 3 times 15. So these are the factors of 45 and these are the factors of 15. Now I will now arrange the factors of 15 in increasing order from smallest to biggest. So that's 1, next is 3, next is 5, next is 15. For 45, the factors of 45 are 1, next is 3, next is 5, next is 9, next is 15, next is 45. After that one, now we could easily tell which are the common factors for 15 and 45. 1 is there, also 1 is here, so encircle 1. That's their common factor. 3 is here and also with 45, so therefore 3 is another factor of is another common factor of 15 and 45. 5 and 5, so 5 is a factor of both 15 and 45. Finally, we have here 15 present to both, so therefore 15 is a factor of both 15 and 45. Therefore, we could say that the common factors of 15 and 45 are the following: 1, 3, 5, and 15. And that's how you're supposed to answer your activity 1.2 of What's More. That is on page 5 of your module. So, all you have to do is answer items number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, pause this video and answer your activity now. Are you done with your activity this time? For the answers of activity 1.2, listen very carefully. For item number 1, we already have the answer here: 1, 3, 5, and 15. For item number 2, actually, that's already given that 1 is the factor of every number, so that's a factor of 26 and also the factor of 18. However, is there other factor which is common to both 26 and 18? Exactly. 2 is also a common factor of both numbers because both numbers are even or they end with 6 and 8, so that's divisible by 2. No other common factors except for 1 and 2. So that's the answer for number 2. Now let's proceed to item number 3. For item number 3, that's 50 and 80. Now let's see what are the common factors of 50 and 80. Obviously, 0 and 0. So both numbers are divisible by 10. And always remember and take note that if a number is divisible by 10, they are also divisible by 5. And remember, if this number 50 and 80 are divisible by 10, both numbers are also even numbers. They end with 0 and 0, so that is also divisible by 2. Therefore, the correct answers or the complete answer for number 3 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Those are the common factors of 50 and 80. Now, let's proceed to item number 4, which is 32 and 12. Obviously, both numbers are divisible by 1. Next thing that we have to consider, because both numbers are even or they end with 2, then they are also divisible by 2. Next one, they are also divisible by 4. Because 8 times 4 is 32, 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So they are also divisible by 4. Let's continue with the last number, which is 54 and 60. What are the common factors for 54 and 60? Both number divisible by 1, both number are even, divisible by 2, and also these two numbers are divisible by 3 and by 6. So those are the complete answers for your activity 1.2. Now, the perfect score for this is 5, including the example that I gave you. That's already a bonus. So this time, count your score and record your score at the upper right portion of your notebook. This time, let's wrap it up. What I have learned. Ano ang natunan ko sa sining session? Of course, numbers ending with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, these are the numbers divisible by 2. These numbers are also called even numbers. Let's take note of that. Even numbers. It simply means that even numbers are numbers which are divisible by 2, and usually these numbers ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Now, numbers ending with 0 or 5 are numbers divisible by 5. And numbers ending with 0 are numbers divisible by 10. If a number is divisible by 10, that number is also divisible by both 5 and 2. However, not all numbers divisible by 5 are divisible by 10. Example, 15, that is divisible by 5 but not by 10. However, 20, which is divisible by 10, is also divisible by 5 and is also divisible by 2. Let us proceed this time to let us check of what I have learned. In your module, page number 5, you still have there 4 items to answer for let us check. So with this, we will answer it together. This time, you are asked to answer number 1, number 2, number 4, and item number 1 here says that, what is the smallest number divisible by 2? What do you think? That's correct. The smallest number divisible by 2 is 2. For item number 2, it says here, number 55 is divisible by what number? Obviously, 55 is the number that ends with 5. Therefore, that is divisible by 5. For item number 3, it says here, what is the biggest 2-digit number divisible by 10? We all know that the 2-digit numbers that ends with 0 are only those numbers that is divisible by 10. So, to list down all the numbers ending with 0, 2-digit numbers ending with 0, these are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. These are the 2-digit numbers which is divisible or which are divisible by 10 because these numbers ends with 0. But the question is, which among these is the largest? So the correct answer for item number 3, what is the biggest 2-digit number divisible by 10? Obviously, that's 90. For item number 4, I'm not quite sure if there is an error in this problem, but the question here says that are all even numbers ending in 0 are both divisible by 2? So both divisible, but there's only one number 2, so we will just skip item number 4. Alright, this time class, let us now proceed to what I can do of your module. What can I do is on page 6 of your module, and this is the last activity before you will proceed to assessment. Okay? So at this very point, the direction here says that using the divisibility rules for 2, 5, and 10, fill in the missing factors, then find their common or find the common factors. So all we have to do this time is to fill in the missing factors of 30 and 20, and all you have to do is write down their common factors. I will give number 1 or letter A of this activity, page 6 of your module, as example. So let's try number 1. So 30, the factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, blank, blank, 10, 15, and 30. To easily identify, let us pair the factors. 1, if paired to 30, the answer is 30. 2, if paired to 15, the answer is also 30. 3, if paired to 10, the answer is also 30. Now, 30 ends with 0. Obviously, it is divisible by both 10 and also divisible by 5. Therefore, we have a missing factor here, which is 5. And what's to be paired with 5 this time? That's 6. So there and then, we completed the factors of 30, which are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. Now let's proceed to number 20. What are the factors of 20? if you will try to pair the first and the last, because they are arranged in order or ascending order from smallest to biggest, so you pair the smallest to biggest, 1 times 20, the answer is 20. So what's to be paired with 2 to make it 20? Obviously, 20 ends with 0, so that is divisible by exactly 10. So 2 times 10 is also equal to 20. And this time, what's to be paired with 4? Remember, if a number is divisible by 10, that is also divisible by 5. So therefore, 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So because we already completed the factors of 30 and 20, that would be easy for us to know what are their common factors. Try to look at their factors. Obviously, they're common with 1. They're common with 2. Common with 5. And finally, they are also common with 10. Therefore, the common factors of 30 and 20 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now, I think it's your turn to answer page 6 of your module, letter B, C, D, and E. You have to pause this video and answer your activity. I will just go back to you later for the answers. No cheating. Good luck. Are you done with your activity? So I think this time we need to know how much have you learned. So by answering this, what I can do, we will be able to assess kung ano na ang inyong nabalaan or dangat diin na ang inyong nabalaan. So this time, let us answer letter B for kaina. Ginansera natin ang letter A as a part of discussion point. So diri naman, answera natin ang letter B to check your points. So, 36. 36 is divisible by what number? Or what are the factors of 36 in order for us to complete this? So, kaina, gintudloan taman kamo sa isa sa mga technique in order for us para makomplete ang aton nga data. Anyway, these numbers or these factors are arranged in ascending order, halin sa pinakagamay, pakadto sa pinakadako. Therefore, ang isa sa mga techniques na dapat i-consider naton na ang pinakagamay nga number, kung i-multiply mo sa pinakadako, amo na sa magahatag sang number nga 36. So this time, 1 times 36, that's 36. Now, 2 times 18, that's also 36. Now, what's to be paired with 3 in order to give a product of 36? Pwede ka man makasili nga, i-divide mo lang sa ang 36 by 3. Kaya kung i-divide mo 36 by 3, the answer is 12. Therefore, the missing number here is 12. That's it. Another one is, what number should be placed here and here? So, remember that this 36 is also divisible by 4. Because, obviously, 4 times 9, that is also equal to 36. If you still remember your factors or your multiplication table. So this time, what's to be paired with 6? That's to be multiplied by itself. 6 times 6 is equal to 36. That completes our factors for 36. Let's try 12. 1 times 12, the answer is 12. 2 is to be paired with 6 to make it 12. 3 is to be paired with 4 to make it 12. Now, let's get their common factors. They're common with 1, they're common with 2, they're common with 3, they're common with 4, they're common with 6, and 12. So one check for all of this, another check for all of this, and another check for the common factors. That gives you 3 points for every letter. Now let's proceed to letter C. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next missing factors are what? So 1 times 48, 48. 2 times 24 is equal to 48. Next, 3 times 16 is also 48. 4 times 12 is also 48. This time, the two missing numbers are 6 and 8, which is equal to 48. Now, let's proceed to 24. 1 times, obviously, 24 is equal to 24. 2 times 12 is also 24. 3 times, what number? 8 is the correct answer. And 6 times 4, that's also 24. One check for here, one check here. Then, all we have to do is to get their common factor, which is 1, next is 2, next is 3, next is 4, next is 6, next is 8, next is 12, and finally 24. So this is the complete set of common factors for 48 and 24. Any question? Shall we proceed to letter D and letter E? If your answers are wrong, all you have to do, I think, is to pause this video and go back to answers for letter D and E if you are done correcting your answers which you think sala siya. Okay? I will give you the chance to do that. Let us continue this time. For letter D and letter E, what are the answers for the missing blanks here and for the common factors? Let's try again 60. 1 times 60, 2 times 30 is 60, 3 times 20 is 60, 4 times 15 is the correct answer. That's also equal to 60. Now 5 times 12 is the correct answer. And obviously 6 times 10 because it ends with 0. Let's proceed to 36. 1 times 36 is 36. 2 times 18 is 36. 3 times 12 is 36. The next one is 4 times 9 once again. And because we already have this a while ago, so you just copy the same factors. And of course, 6 times 6 is 36. Get their common factors. That is 1. Next is 2. Next is 3. Next is 4. Next is 6. Next is... Do you still have more? I think no more. So these are the factors of, or common factors, I mean, of 60 and 36. One check for here, the factors of 60, one check for the factors of 36, and one check for the common factors of both 36 and 60. Okay, let's proceed to letter E. 54, 1 times 54, 2 times 27, 3 times 18 is 54. And how about the other two factors? What do you think are the numbers which is also factors of 54? Obviously, that's 6 times 9 is also equal to 54. Any question? If there's none, let's proceed to 42. 1 times 42 is missing here. 2 times 21. 3 times? What do you think is the answer? 3 times? 14. 3 times 14 is equal to 42. And finally, 6 times 7. So this is the complete set of the factors of 42, which is 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21, and 42. And now let's get their common factors. The common factors are 1, 2, then 3, 6. Do we still have more? I think no more. So up to there only. So the common factors of 54 and 42 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. One check for the factors of 54, one check for the factors of 42, and one check for the common factors of 54 and 42. That gives us a total of Each item is 3 points, and there are 4 items that we answered because number 1 is given as an example. So the perfect score is 12. How many points did you get? How do you find the activity? Do you think, will you able to solve this problem without our session for today? If you think that this session is really helpful for you, I think it would be best to assess yourself if how much have you learned. So this time, I want you to open your module once again and answer assessment, page 6 up to 7. That's a 10-item multiple choice. So you have to choose the letter of the correct answer and write your answer on a separate sheet of pad paper. I would require you to write your answer in a 1-whole sheet of pad paper or intermediate pad, and that is to be submitted to me on October 9. So this time, we will have to pause for a while in order for you to finish your assessment, which will be submitted and which will be collected on October 9. Thank you so much for staying with me. Later, we will have our Module 2 in a short while as a continuation of our Session 1 as week 1 for the first quarter of Mathematics 5. Thank you so much for listening and joining me in this video, and good luck to your assessment. See you later.